Market is open. executed.
All right, there was my impression of a mime for 10 minutes. Good morning, guys. What is your average price? Well, the only trade I'm in right now is SPY. And my average price would be 1472. And so I'm down 28%. And I'm actually okay just getting out right now, compared to what I've been down. I just want to see what actually happens today, whether it makes a new low. Expecting earnings for Google and Microsoft to be like positive or negative tomorrow, and people make their decisions today. If I get a 415 today, I might decisively get out. We're pretty much oversold at this point on SPY, and I expect a rebound. But when it comes to NKTX, It has a high market cap. It has a decent float. It's in the healthcare sector, in the NASDAQ exchange. And I'm looking for something closer to like 150%, or at least a squeeze from its current high. So I want it to go from like 16 to minimum 17 before I do anything. And I only paid like $5 for borrows. So I'm okay with using a day trade on that. It doesn't have consistent resistance, so it's not a gap up short. It's more of just, it has range and it has a high market cap. That's the only reason I'm going in. I mostly just wanted to have SPY, see if it's going to rebound early or if it's going to rebound later, or if it's going to be a third day of going down $15, because I feel like that's going to affect the stock and the overall optimism or attitude in the stocks, and that might play into the small caps. This is the only small cap that has volume and extension and a price that's below, no, above $5. Everything else I see is $2, $4, and they're all like under 30%. It's probably something that can turn into something later, but right now this one is at the top next to TBLT, which the volume on that looks sketchy. Yeah, but how's everybody doing? Oh, you thought I was shorting already? Nah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the people to get squeezed. Like, the earliest I could go in, I was actually looking at 16 earlier when it first went down, or like before it went down. I'll show you what I was doing. So this isn't a consistent resistance because all the history is above like this point. There's not a flat line. They don't have long-term investors, and if they did, I don't think they would get out like with such a small gain, or at least not all at once. Like the people at this point, most of them already got out from that slow grind going down. And so the thing that would make most people get out is if it went back to the same place that they probably got stuck. And I don't think that even starts until, like 16. And then the people that got stuck in like the 20s, 17, 18 area, I think they'll settle for like something closer to, the 18s. Anything before like 17, it's not really worth a day trade for me. And that's how I'm taking this. Like, what's actually worth a day trade? And the way I measure that is pretty much risk reward. Like, if I go in, can I get at least 30% on this trade? When this cracks, does it have any kind of support, or like how much actual profit margin can I get from this? And in this case, it's similar to that like 3-star bounce short I traded before, except this is actually something closer to like 2.5, because it's not a gap up short. And you can make it a gap up short though with enough quality criteria, because it doesn't fit all the criteria. Main thing is like the higher this goes, I don't actually see anything that brings it down enough for it to kill its own momentum, unless you have some other external factors. Unless it's just so overextended to the point where it traps a lot of people. But in this case, the volume, it's not overcrowded. It's actually it actually looked pretty slow. And it sounds like a trap to me. Like, it's too consistent. That's all I'm gonna say. I get that, Henry. Henry said, I saw NKT on my chart and I looked into the chart and saw there was no resistance. I was pissed. And now I'm doomed to overtrade it because I borrowed it. Yeah, we haven't had a lot of love in the small caps lately. And having a resistance on this, oh, that would be great. Because you almost have 100 extension. You're in the double digits already on the price. You had some decent volume. I think it was like close to 10 million or like something around there at the beginning. All it missed was the resistance. And so there was no consistent resistance like a gap up short, and there was no individual resistance like a bounce short. So tragic. If you do go in this, you're pretty much gambling. And if I'm going to gamble, I'm at least going to look for like a quality, like one criteria. And that for me doesn't even start until you get to like 17, like 19. Like you have to squeeze the early shorts and then give me some type of resistance, and I'll treat it like a gap plus bounce kind of thing. Like if I go in there now, I'm not confident I can even make past 15%. And at that point, it's not worth the day trade for me. But I will put $5 to secure some cheap borrows. In the meantime, you know, my equity's at 57K. So I'm real happy because, you know, just last week, I was only at like 28, like dancing between like 23 to like 30s. So I'm okay. I'll just be chilling. I'll just stare at the screen the whole time. I don't even need to talk. I'm just pretty much waiting to see what happens in the market right now. Over the weekend, Macron, I think the French president or somewhere in Europe, he won the election. Everyone pretty much knew he was going to win the election. And so it doesn't bring any optimism into the market. China is down 5% in one day in their overall, like at least in Shanghai. And yeah, remember, we're all connected. Everyone's been tightening their monetary policy in their central banks, and that's going to affect our market. My thing is, we're still oversold right now. I just want to see how oversold do we get, because actually having a slight pullback and then continuing off of like negative earnings, you know, we could see something as low as like 400 this week or even lower. But that's if like all the cards like line up. In the meantime, JP Morgan teased like everyone that their expectations of earnings for Amazon, Google, Microsoft, who's the other one? Facebook and something else, they're a little gloomy. It said one of those is going to be like surprising, which means it's going to be positive. And so the way I see it is, a lot of people got hurt from China, or not China, they got hurt from Russia and their amount of take in Russia. And the only one that would really matter would be Microsoft and Apple. And so the first big obstacle would be Microsoft and Google on Tuesday. Then the second would be Thursday, which would be Amazon and Apple. So both those days you have like trillions of dollars that can either like go up or down, or they can actually cancel each other out. one be positive, one be negative on each one of those days. And the way I see it is, like, if everything came out negative, which I give it like 10% chance, we could be at like 380, like 390, like something around there. Because but again, that's like 10%. The other option would be, since most people are going based off of like expectations for their like optimism and pessimism and overall anxiety in the market and stuff that controls the VIX. Tomorrow is the earnings, so Monday is the day before that whole like line of bombs, and so we're supposed to see something exciting today, and then most people won't actually do anything like during the earnings. And so I just want to see if there's going to be a big up or a big down today. My bet is going to be a big down. And then when that happens, then I'm going to try to get as much of my SPY out as possible. But ideally, I want to hold till Friday. It really just depends. The way I see it, each day has like 3 options: up, down, and then sideways. If we go sideways today, that seems like strength to me. That's actually okay if it's on Monday. And if I think the earnings are going to be negative, I could definitely get into this, but it'd take like over 15-20 minutes. What are you guys up to? Good. Can't complain. Eating breakfast, waiting for the market to do its thing. Give me that 20% push for $17, LOL. Yeah. Nice. What play got you there? How'd your equity double? Because I had a really big position in, and then I was a bag holder all the way from like 420, which degraded all the way down to like 410, and then went up to 460. And so was it 2 days ago? No, 2 days ago. Thursday, we were at 450, and so I was down like 70%, and now I'm only down like 25%. So that 50% of my account that was gone, I just got it back. And now I'm at 55 equity. If that explains it. Yeah, so again, I'm already happy. I got most of my money back right now. Like, I put 65K in. I have 50K exposure right now, plus the 6K I have for the small caps. After I get out of this, I'm gonna stick to the same strategy. Have a passive amount in my account for swing trades and probably some long-term options, and then more aggressive income on the other side for penny stocks if they ever come back. Yeah. See if anything else popped up. Real estate is the only thing positive on the week. And that's barely. They were talking a lot of smack on Twitter, saying Elon should lower his bid for Twitter because the market went down. He's like, he could probably get it at half price. I just mentioned it. They just talked about it 2 hours ago too. Yeah, but they said that a Friday or Saturday. a lot of the major supports in like everyone's economy, like China, America, Europe, like the top three that like influence the entire network that's created, they're all testing a major support at this point. And yeah, so like when you test that major support, usually you're supposed to have like a gap down, and if that gap down happened today, it's supposed to look like something like 10% to like 15%. So like back in like 2008, it was like 10%. And so we're talking about a straight gap down to like at least like 360, 380 minimum. But that was back when we were stronger. And yeah, so I'm waiting to see if something happens for now. If anything, we can have a rally all the way back up to like 430, 440, and then do that later after, you know, the Fed does whatever they want to do. In the meantime, I'm just watching, just chilling. You're not looking at NKTX. It's not a pattern. It's something I could trade, but I'd be trading my habits for it, and I'd be trading my day trade for it too. Now, if it had a resistance, you know, I'd be trading with both hands. But yeah, I borrowed it. In KTX, are you looking for the break of 14? It went up to 16. I'm looking for the break of 16 and then somewhere below 20 and above 17. Like it's a range because I want the range, and I want people to be trapped so I can have something to go off of and like bring it back down. Like I'm looking for exhaustion in the demand, and the only thing that's going to exhaust the range on this is people are tired of getting chopped, or there's too much chaos, and you know, what do you call that? What? No, I'm not supposed to explain too much. Not buyer insufficiency, but it goes towards that. Tighter consolidation. Yeah. I don't see this having a chance of going to 30, like in a day at least. Max, I'd say. No, because they had this little crack there. Yeah, under 20 definitely. I still take my shot at 17. And like all this that's created today definitely has to go down. Like look at the catalyst. It's just research, and these usually die out pretty quick. Like they were talking about cancer the other day. Like you saw that only lasted like a day. There's something else that was FDA approval. I need to start putting more of those together in a portfolio, because it didn't even show up on the calendar. Oh, wrong one. I remember it was the day before this. Wednesday 20. Was it CYN? No. I don't do this by date. Wait, I'll do it over here. There we go. CRXT, probably. back. Man. Not even healthcare. VERU MDLV. VL. I'm just looking at my old record of the stocks in April. I know it was April 20th though. Maybe it was the other one. Yeah. Yeah, it was something about. I think COVID was related. Yeah, for now. Let me just say it's VERU. Oh, what was the reason I wanted it before? Oh, okay. I'd probably try to use that as a bounce short or something. What happened? 11. Oh. Yeah, I'm over it. Now, what are the people doing? Here comes a squeeze. It's still didn't break its top. Yeah, the volume that's coming in is pretty consistent. So, 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Yeah, so it's about 10. Oh wait, this is not what I thought it was. Talking about the music. Well, SPY, it's making new lows. Well, Bullard, he came out think it was Thursday. And he directly told people, sell the bonds. They're not safe. And so I think we talked about it before. Bonds have been backing like the stock market for a while. And they're supposed to be the safest like investment you can make. And now they're not safe. So all the optimism in the overall market should be gone. Like temporarily. Until we find something else to blame it on. So right now we're at 419. I'm telling you, if we can get like 415 today, it's gonna set me up. Set me up for a good exit. Everything after today, it kind of feels like a gamble. Because I don't know what's going to happen in Apple and I don't know what's going to happen in Microsoft. And, you know, if I get lucky and like they do something bad, you know, it's just going to be even more optimism to like add to the transportation crash, the food inflation, and like all this other stuff that the only person that's benefiting is me because I have a put. So I try not to talk too much about it. Are you using StockCraft right now? No, I'm not. They're working on it. And then they'll give it to me and I'll play with it a little bit. And then I'll show you how to do stuff with it. Also can't really give you an estimate because a lot of the people that aren't in our company, that we give them a task, like they have other stuff that keeps popping up or they're lying or something, it keeps getting like pushed back, and I don't want to lie to you. Yeah, don't get me to lying. That's what I'm saying. VERU was max dollar block. Oh, okay. What's your SPY strike? I have 420 and 415 on May. I have 400 June 30th. Damn, you got May? You must be down big. Or if I had to think about it, I say you're, well, you got 420, 415 strike. Okay. Yeah, you'll be fine. So, you know, the market's doing its thing. Anybody else got anything cool to say? Or what are you guys up to? Like this weekend, I was learning how to make overnight oats. So I bought a whole lot of chia seeds and hemp seeds and all these other omega-3, omega-6 things. And, you know, I just wanted to make sweet things. See if something's popped up. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Wait, it just blew its top. Halting. Textbook waiting on NKTX, plan to short around 18. I like the plan. I want to go into a rave, have a 6-foot leprechaun friend, and just like jump on the cage and just start dancing. It was very specific. It's almost like I did it before. Posture check. My back feels better. That reminds me. I don't think I looked at that message. He said it's going straight down. I'm a little worried about my friend. There was one friend, he started like a similar trade with me, and he got out right at the top because he doesn't trade a lot. And yeah, even though we were just like, hold it till this point, yeah, as soon as he got to the top, he's just like, oh no, I could lose everything. Even though like when he got in, he already made some mistakes. Yeah, like it's a big mental game. And if you're impulsive, you can easily shoot yourself in the foot. And then if you're impulsive at like the right time, you could shoot both feet by accident. Like, hey, you still holding your big SPY short? Yeah, I'm still holding. Yeah, I got optimism too. It's just going in the opposite direction. Watching Halo TV series, you know, that's a good, I like that. If I was watching stuff, I'd probably be baking my brain on YouTube. Like, I've been watching a lot of nature shows. Like, you know how many times I've been in like a lion pride in the past like week? Also like around the world, high quality 4K, walking the streets of Tokyo, walking the streets of Islam, and like everything like that. Just real like humble me kind of stuff. Or like, hey, if you were here, this is exactly what you would hear and see. Like no extra music, just straight a person walking for hours. Like they're not even commentating. I'm just stalking someone pretty much. But it's peaceful. Yeah, I remember a time when we had no clue what was happening with SPY. We're like, why is it going up? Why are people buying this? Like, didn't even think about like shorts covering, mutual press releases, manipulation. At the end of the day, just don't fight the Fed. So this is going to 17 right now. I got 500. Yeah, I got 500, what do you call that? I got 500 borrowed. Man. It's on the 15-minute candle and it's already like making me feel FOMO, even though I know it's not that ideal. I'm just like, do it. Yeah, especially since it already like went to 17, but I wanted to go higher than that. Like that's just barely. Okay, I need to stop playing with it. The more I put my hand on the mouse, the more I'm just gonna slowly creep over to this area. Remember, I don't have any confirmation screens on, so I accidentally click a button, and if I have something borrowed, click. And like if I double click it, like somehow just like went in and went out, like That's a whole week I gotta wait just to get my day trade back. Whenever I talk about the day trade, it reminds me of my college and high school, and like all the like sassy minorities around me, and actually just sassy people around me in general. They were like, man, you know how much that is? That's $5. That's $2. Like, Dontez, what are you doing? They're like, I'd be that guy that like will make $4 an hour, but I'll save like 90% of my money, and then I'll spend like most of it just taking friends out or like giving gifts and like all stuff like that. And everybody's just like, yeah, all kinds of sassy responses you can imagine. Yeah, but in the meantime, it made me watch Chris Tucker, or not Chris Tucker, what do you call that? Rush Hour the other day. That reminds me of early stages of me and Steven. He's just like, you talk too much. He's like, I like to let people talk who like to talk, because that's how I know if they're full of shit or not. It's like, we're both full of shit. I was just like, damn. Like, come on, man. I will beat your ass. I always miss Steven the most when I'm doing the stream. Okay. Oh. I've been looking at a lot of Mike Tyson stuff too. He was beating up someone on the plane because they threw a water bottle at the back of his head after, you know, getting into his space. That was hilarious. Like, dude, he got beat up. Like he had the like, I'm about to cry face. And you know, he has a buddy sitting across from him on this plane, and he's filming the whole thing, and he's like, you know, it was happy in the beginning until dude took some shrooms. And yeah, next thing you know, you just see like a good 10 seconds of like Tyson over the top of him, smack, 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 smack. That tickled my soul. I was just like, do it, get him, make him shut up. Like, but I also kind of felt bad for the dude, because I can think of like 3 people that have the same face structure and personality and stuff like that. Yeah, but like no one has like hit them. But everyone's wanted to at some point. Well, I know one guy that never mind. That dude deserved every lesson he received from Mike. That's what the comments were saying. I love the comments. But other than that, something that popped up last night, because I've been watching a lot of Tyson stuff. Just 20 hours ago, or like 15 hours ago, I can't really tell now. Tim Sykes actually had an interview with Mike Tyson, and he's trying to take his clout. And they're talking about charity. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's you know, it's good to give back, and yeah, I do miss like giving my hours, like at the minimum, doing charity. Now the minimum I do is like each year just give like 100 or something to a homeless person. But I don't know, like I don't know how I feel about doing that in LA, because I feel like there'll be pretend homeless people, even though there are plenty of homeless people, like real ones. Like I'd rather give it to a shelter, or just give like 20 hours spread out over a month or something. Go to a nearby church. But I forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah. But he was over there saying him and Mike Tyson are the same, because most people don't understand the healing power of giving, and you know, seeing people that used to be in your situation and stuff. Yeah, but everyone has a story. I don't know. I just don't like it because Tim Sykes is there. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm not supposed to talk too much shit. Intelligence is realizing everyone is full of bullshit. Wisdom is realizing you are as well. I like how you define your, those would be psychological terms, like philosophy terms. Actually, I have a whole like dictionary that it's like an abstract version of how I define things, from all motivational quotes, all like experience and stuff like that, stuff that actually feels like meaningful to me, and it helps me actually speak articulate, or at least something a little closer to it. I need to work on it more each week. I have bad habits when it comes to like reading and anything to do with like English, pretty much. Like I wait till I get motivated and I do it all in like 3 days, and then I just stop for like a few weeks and I go back to being motivated. It's similar to like when I call my parents. I'm like, I only call my parents when I have to do my laundry. I'm just like, okay, I don't know what it was, but when I fold my underwear, I'm just like, hey, how's it going? And you're like, oh, you're doing your laundry? I hear it in the background. I'm like, you know how it is. I was like, when I cook, I think of this person. And that's how I try to stay consistent. I just anchor it to something else. And so I think when I do stocks, I'm anchoring it to Steven. That's why I feel that way when oh, okay, I'm starting to understand myself a little bit more. It only took me 27 years. Okay, okay, I'm done. So it's already past 10:20, and the amount of volume that's been created, like since it squeezed, is about like 14 million. That range still isn't enough for me, because like if it did, you know, go sideways for say another hour and then cracked all the way down to 14 again, that gives me $2 on a $15 stock. So it's like 15%. The minimum for me to go in on this, I want to get something closer to 30%. And so, you know, if I went in now, my average would be like 16. For me to get that 30%, I have to get $3. $3 off 16 is something that cracks to like 12. This can crack to 12. But the thing is, like, you know, we're just in the beginning of the day. Does this actually have enough resistance or enough volume trapped in between 15 to, 17 to be able to push it down all the way to 12 before like 1 o'clock rush hour and stuff? I don't think it does. And if it doesn't, what's the chances of this coming back at like, again, like 1 o'clock to like 3 o'clock, once it stays above like 14? What I'm pretty much trying to say is I have to wait for some more extension or a lot more volume to be trapped in this area before I even think about going in. That's it. The SPY. Wow. Almost exactly 420. The major support. Or the previous major support. After that cracks, then we'll see. Something about the bond market too. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Bonds, Tesla, Amazon, IGM, X. Nah, probably not important. Oh. Elon likes that number. I'll take your word for it. All right, guys. It's not 11:30, but it's about that time. I guess I should head out. And yeah, I think I already gave like all warnings and my opinion for now. It's already at the high, or close to the high that it created today, which is 23. Cool. Yeah, so it's under 20K. Yeah, about 18. If I cover it now, I'd lose 18K. Yeah. I'm still holding. Okay. So, all right, guys. Peace. Be safe. And I'll see you tomorrow.